What's up? What's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we take a look back at the early works of seasoned comedians before they were seasoned with this week's guest, William Conway. It's time to get down and get dope with Done Way Past Funny. Hi, welcome to Done Way Past Funny, where we look at the work of seasoned comedians from before they were seasoned. I am your host, G.D. Fenderson, a certified forensic humorist at large, but I am losing weight. My guest is part of Coffee with the Dog on Mind Dog TV, the one, the only, William Conway.
Hey, what's up, GD?
I'm doing okay. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Like I said, I mentioned everybody that you were part of Coffee with the Dog on Mind Dog TV. Another part of that is Matt Napo, which people probably, if they are paying attention, they would have seen his interview on Done Way Past Funny maybe a month ago. So that's two parts of Coffee with the Dog.
Ooh.
Now, so
you're a part. You're a part of it too, you know.
Well, I was waiting till my union card came in.
Oh, is that right? So, the Dog Universe membership card.
That's right. My license, my little dog license. So I think that's something he should sell. I think he should sell dog licenses.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and it can't be that much to produce. We'll have to pitch it to him at the next sales meeting we have.
Yeah.
So
I got more T-shirt ideas too.
For the people out there, before you introduce yourself, I just want people to know I refer to you as William Conway because William Conway is the way I think you are on YouTube, I think.
Yes.
But you have like 937 aliases.
I do. I do have a lot of aliases. That's right.
Variations of the William Conway. So
I think. That's probably bad on the marketing side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does make it difficult.
Not helping people find me.
Yeah, because some people will start off looking for William Conway and they'll wind up with the actor from that the fat actor detective guy. I think his name was William Conway.
Is there?
Yeah,
there might be. I knew about Tim Conway, the comedic actor from like the Caribou Net days.
Yeah, I will
if there is a William Conway actor, I am not aware of him. That could be though.
I'm going to do something that I don't usually do in real time, but because I can edit and it's our show.
Are you going to Google that right now?
Right now, I'm just going to Google it right now. Yeah. I'll tell you what. While I'm Googling this, why don't you tell people about yourself? The real William Conway, not the fake actor. Tell people about yourself, and I'm going to Google the other William Conway.
Well, I started out in comedy in 2002. Actually,
because you're gonna. I'm just teasing.
What?
No, I was joking. I was just telling you to talk slower because I'm a terrible Googler.
Oh,
just take your time.
Right. Well, the story starts in 2002, so I mean, it will probably take a while. You know what I mean? But no, I started out doing comedy in 2002. I did my first open mic competition at what actually was the last open mic of the Funny Bone that used to be in the basement of the brewery in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Nitwits Comedy Club was taking over. And the way they were having a contest that night, and the way it was working is that whoever won the contest won like a rotating house MC spot at the new Nitwits Club because they needed new people for the new club, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I had never done comedy before. I went up there with like 2 or 3 stories that I told on a regular basis at parties because the main reason that I did it is because of just all my friends kept telling me, bro, you got to try. You got to go see what's up. You know, you're super funny all the time. And so that's all I did. I literally went up there with 2 or 3 stories that I was just always used to telling. And I ended up winning the competition. And which was actually kind of terrible in hindsight because like and so now I had like a gig and I had no idea what I was doing, like no idea whatsoever. But thank God, Kathleen Dunbar was the headliner that week, and she was one of the judges for the competition. And we talked for quite a while after the show. And she refused to believe that it was my first night. She was like, I can't believe that's your first show. Um, but I went and got a book on like how to, how to do a routine, how to, all of the, and I wish I remember. I think it was just called Stand Up Comedy, the book, and it was by a woman. It had like a brick background and like the old style microphone or whatever. It was a great book, and I gleaned a lot of good stuff from that about how to write your routine in a way that takes the audience for a ride. There can actually be a benefit of a bad joke, which sounds stupid to say,
No,
but
I understand.
telling a
No, no,
bad joke can make a good joke even better. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
There's sometimes when see a lot of people I don't when I write a bit like when I write a show like when I write my 90-minute shows I go through and I count reactions. I don't always count the laughs because I don't always want a laugh. Sometimes I want
right,
a ooh.
I want engagement. Yeah,
Yeah, right. And if you can control when you get that, oh man. And
yeah,
yeah, just these. Oh, you think that's bad? Just wait,
right,
or something like
right.
that. So I mean, go
Yeah,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So I'll just agreeing with your point that
yeah.
sometimes a bad
I
joke
I
is good.
I will say though that not going for laughs sometimes will get you. You know what I mean? You can lose a crowd harder than you think. Like
Oh no, it's got to be control. It's got to be controlled. It's like
yeah, for real.
yeah, it's like I consider science and art a science. I consider comedy an art and a science, a
Oh
combination of
yeah,
the two. And so the science is where you that's when you can do those kinds of things if you are smart enough to know how to get the audience back.
right. Listen, anybody who doesn't think that stand-up comedy is a science didn't watch season 1 of Last Comic Standing when Dat Fan was like meticulously breaking down all of his bits, and he won that shit. He won that shit hands down. And I don't know if you remember that, but like it
I
was
never
one of the
saw it.
things
I
that
don't even know what that show is.
Last Comic Standing. You've never heard of that show, bro?
No, I've seen the title when I scroll through. Like there's a menu when you have like I have Direct TV and you go through like the menu and there'll be like
How
last
did?
comic standing and I've never seen it though. But I have seen the title. I do know the show exists. I've never watched a second of it.
Right. I mean,
I've never even looked at the description because I
right.
figured
It's went
I,
through a lot of versions. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's been a minute since they've done a season of it. I think, but yeah, I mean, it's been a benefit for quite a few comedians. I would say, Chris Porter, I know was on there. I think he got. I want to say he either got second or third. He might have got third. I think
okay, never
when he did
heard of
Last
him
Comic
either.
Standing. But a number of names we know today have definitely gone through the Last
Well,
Comic
a lot of
Standing
names you
stage.
know today. I
I
don't.
mean,
No,
I'm
I'm just
true. I
no.
get. I
I'm
mean,
just
fair enough. I guess.
there's like because sometimes I'll come across a comedian's bio and it'll say was in last comic standing and I'm like okay so that's nice.
But I mean,
It doesn't mean it doesn't. I look. I am not. I am so not impressed by things people do because sometimes they do things by luck
right.
and it's not skill and I'm supposed to be impressed because somebody has better luck than me. No,
I mean, no, yeah, no, that's
I
true. I
appreciate
mean,
skill. If somebody shows me skill,
right.
I'll be like one of the first people like, damn. As a matter of fact, if I even total strangers, if I come across a comedy bit that's like really funny or really clever, even if I don't know them, I will send them a message on Facebook.
Yeah,
And it'll say something like, "Man, that was good. I wish I had thought of it." And then I'll say it's a joke, but since you don't know who I am, I'm going to steal it, and you'll probably never know.
oh,
No,
come on
but
now.
then I put the smiley
Boo.
face. But I put I don't
Boo.
I've never stolen anybody's material. But then I put the smiley face. They
That's
know
so
I'm
terrible.
joking. And if they don't know I'm joking, they'll come looking for me. And then I'll become
Right.
famous that way.
I do some Bill Cosby material, but that's because one of the things I learned in prison is nobody cares if you steal from a sex offender. So, I mean, so I do some Cosby now and then.
See, I was
But so I did that gig in Nitwits probably for about 18 months or so, and then I went out to LA for a
my mom
year.
says that's Nitwits
Yeah, Nitwits Comedy Club was
in
in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
okay, not Sioux City.
And yeah, no, not Sioux City. And don't
I'm just
confuse the
saying.
two.
No,
They get
I'm
super
just
mad
saying.
about it. They do. Um, but and the Nitwits. So I think maybe because they moved across town to the east side like before a couple of years before they closed, and I did like maybe two shows there before I went to prison. But mainly all the shows I did were in the basement of the brewery on Fifth and Phillips, which was
Now,
like the spot for a long time. You know, one of the saddest things about that place closing is there were so many comics that had signed the walls over the years, and I don't know whatever happened to that. And I mean, dude, I mean, even just the people I opened for there, like Bobcat Goldthwait, Kevin Pollock, was on that list. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
and then like Mark Britton, which I think is a pretty cool signature because that guy's got like he's like seven of the voices on Dragon Ball Z. But I mean, they had good acts in all. Artie Lang came through there. I opened for him one time. That was fucking crazy. Like that was because back then when I did hosting at Nitwits, one
Right?
of the things that I thought was super important for me to do was it because the way Nitwits ran is they did a Wednesday show, a Thursday show, two shows on Friday, two shows on Saturday,
Right?
and whoever they had for the week was like their acts for the week. You know, so like host, feature, headliner was the same for all those shows, and I would always and they had like a little condo apartment or whatever that the comedians got to stay in. So
Right?
like for the ones that could stand it, I would definitely hang out and try and glean information, go out to lunch with them, because like the one of the things that I understood more than anything else is like these guys know the business and I know nothing. You know what I mean? So the more time that I can spend with them and pick their brains, the better. You know what I mean? But you also have to walk the line of not being a fucking irritating ass either, because some people just they want to have their fucking downtime and they don't want to answer a bunch of questions from a beginner. You know what I mean? So
Now,
you got to kind of feel it out on who's going to go for it, who's not.
now, I just want to clear something up. Well, or two somethings. The first something is the actor William Conway that I was looking for. I've only found one, and he was. I'm going to show this, but I'll put up the actual a better picture for the. But this is the William. This is William Augustus Conway, 1789 to 1828. He was an actor, an English actor, but he's not the one I'm thinking of, who played a detective in the 70s. So it's not obviously it's not that guy, but
All right.
that's the only William Conway that came up as an actor, and
Right.
so
I do have one acting credit. I think just one. I did a second one, but I never heard anything about like it coming out or anything, so I don't know whatever happened to it. But there is an independent short that I'm in called Men's Room. And there's
okay, that's
yeah,
not. Is
there's
that the one that involves the congressman? Was that the one that became evidence in that trial with
no,
that
no.
congressman with the foot
What it
tapping,
is,
congressman foot tapping?
uh, there's no lines. It's like 7 minutes long.
It sounds
There's
like the
no
evidence. Go
lines in
ahead.
it.
You haven't convinced me that it's not the evidence tape. Go ahead.
Right, hang on. I'm trying to tell you what it is. If you let me tell you, okay. It's what it is it's like everything that is faux pas in the bathroom. Like we did it. We packed it into a 7 minute skit, and it's pretty good. It's called Men's Room. I should find the link and share that or something. Um,
Yeah. In matter of fact, you should have sent that as one of the things that we could have. Okay, but that's beside the point. That's you
my
probably.
bad. I forget
Oh, no,
about these things. It's been a while
believe
since
me.
I talked about that.
I know you keep telling me that. So you'll keep every once in a while you'll say to me, "I haven't thought about that until you mentioned that." So
Right.
apparently, I was brought into your life to remind you of shit that you forgot.
Yeah, you're a very thought provoking person, GD. I appreciate that.
So now of the people that you met as far as headliners and so forth through via nitwits. Um, I know you're not friends with all of them. Is there one
No.
of them that you thought you could have been friends with if y'all got to know each other a little bit better?
I mean, sure, yeah, no, probably a number of. I mean, I smoked weed with plenty of them.
No, but yeah, smoking
Like,
with somebody and being a friend with somebody is something
right,
totally
yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. No, it's very true, very true.
I
But
smoked weed with my parents, and my parents didn't like me, so that just well, not
oh man,
parents, parent,
oh man,
one the
I
mother.
can't
Yeah.
even imagine. I can't even imagine smoking weed with my mom. That would be like one of the craziest experiences. Like it was weird enough doing it with my sister, but my mom was. I can't even imagine what that would be like. But
Oh,
um, what was the question again? I did smoke weed right before this. So what was?
right. Who of the comedians that you open for,
oh,
who do you think you could be like friends with? That if you got, if you were like neighbors, you could be like, I could totally be so and so's neighbor. We'd be like really good friends.
right. I mean, I feel like Chris Porter for sure. And he was actually one of the nicer ones as far as like advice and talking to me and stuff. He was
That
really
Chris
cool.
Porter, like a beer,
Chris
Porter.
Porter, he's a Kansas City comedian.
Okay.
Um, he's a real tall dude, curly hair. I think he cut it though. He's got more of a buzz cut now. Um, but man, he's got. He was one of the ones. Like I said, I think he got third on Last Comic Standing. But he's been a touring comic for a long time. You know, ever since the early 2000s, as far as I know, and probably before that. Um, but he was super cool and just like a real chill, down to earth dude. Um, so yeah, it'd be cool to like kick it with him. And like Dante was one of my first mentors, and I don't know, like me and because when I moved out to LA, I took Dante's class. He had a comedy class, and he
What's
was
Dante's
running a
last
bunch of
name?
open mic. What?
Dante's last name.
You know what? He goes by Dante the comic, and I'm pretty sure he does that for a reason. Because I'm probably gonna butcher this, but I think it's Ruscali, Ruska. I can't say it right. It's a long one. It's a very long name, but he
Oh,
goes
okay.
by Dante the comic. Um, we've had him on the show. He's been on
As,
Coffee with the
as
Dog.
opposed to Dante the Inferno. Yeah, because some
Right.
people may
Well,
get those two mixed up.
his new release, he's got a new release out right now. I think it is like the Divine Comedy or something like that. Dante's Divine Comedy.
Oh,
I
okay.
I think he did. I think he did go that right route on his latest album.
His latest
Hang on, I need
album.
a drink.
Okay. Is that the same bottle from this morning? No, I'm just kidding. No,
It is. It is. See what?
no, I'm just kidding. Let's set up the clip. Well, at least the first clip. Okay, just for the people out there, um the we have a 7-minute clip by Will,
Yeah.
and we divide it into 3 segments. Part of it is because the way my software works, it likes clips in 300 megabytes or smaller, and so I have to cut down, I my that, and also in the event for your own protection, because sometimes these clips are not good. So and
Right.
you don't want to be subjected to a long clip that's not good. So I
Oh,
just treat them all the same, and I divide them all up. You know, but
can I set this up just a little bit?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I started back in 2002. And I did shows and then I went out to LA for about a year or so. And so like 2007 is when I got arrested and I went to prison. So there was a big gap. And in 2018, November of 2018, I started doing stand up again. And I think this is like maybe a month into me coming back after like 8 years of uh or no, not 8 years, but like 10, 15, like a little over 10 years of not doing anything.
Okay,
So
now,
this is like a month back from a long hiatus.
now, my question is: once you got out of prison, how long before you actually started doing stand up?
like 2 years. It was about 2 years after I got out of prison until I did stand up. I actually, I have to give credit to my second wife. During our divorce, like right after we signed our divorce papers, she sent me a thing for an open mic at this place. The place I'm doing an open mic at is the same place that she sent me an open mic flyer for. And I thought that she was doing it just to be a bitch. And I was actually kind of pissed about it at first because I thought she was like trying to get at me a little
Yeah,
bit, like, oh, we're
I was
divorced.
thinking that
Hey,
would be like a perfect way to do a hit. She knows where you'd be.
I mean,
She-
yeah, no, you know what? I mean, that's true too. I didn't even think about that. That it could have been a sick setup. Yeah. Uh,
yeah,
but
and
no,
you be on
I
stage, and
ended
it's
up,
like I heard of people killing on stage, but he died on
yeah,
stage.
well, I do die on stage and quite often,
Well,
actually.
yeah, we
I
won't.
can't remember, do I do it in this clip? I don't know if I do it
Yes,
in
you
this
do.
clip.
You do die on
Oh, I
this, but
do.
it's at
Okay.
the
So
end.
I'm
It's at
already
the end.
dying.
Yes, but it's at the end.
All
Now,
right.
now, when you got out of prison, were you was there a condition where you were not allowed to associate with former convicts,
Yeah.
or
So,
were you
yes.
free and clear?
Yeah, no, I wasn't free and clear. I was on parole when I first got out. Matter of fact, um, September of 2019 is when I was released from parole, and that's when I started traveling and stuff. Um, but up until that point, I just did local stuff in the Sioux Falls scene, and there was like the conditions of like not consorting with other known felons or whatever, which is interesting because me and my wife, we had to get special permission from both of our parole officers to have a relationship, actually.
Okay.
So,
Now,
like,
what now? What about performing comedy, and you find out that there's a former convict on the bill with you? Would you
yeah,
have
I
to,
mean,
you
so
know?
for like social situations like that, they wouldn't, at least in South Dakota, they wouldn't sweat you so much about that. What they're really going to get on you about is whether or not the venue you're at has more than 50% of their sales from alcohol. Because if that's true, you're not supposed to be there while you're on parole. So
Now, what
like,
if
and
it's
that's
only 40?
also
What if it's only 49% from alcohol, but 51% from cocaine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I guess if the cocaine
I'm
is
just
in
asking
food
for a friend.
format,
I'm just asking for a friend.
infused or whatever, I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm gonna say that's probably a no. That's probably
Probably.
no.
Okay, so that's a probable no is a maybe yes. Okay.
Right, right.
Okay, okay.
And so, you know, this is the kind of thinking that I had to get rid of in my life before. But back in the day, back before I went to prison, I used to be a real believer in the saying it's only illegal if you get caught. Like, yeah,
Well, when
that's
I
a
play
terrible way to
football,
live your life. By the
but
way,
when I
just
play
don't.
football, I'd say it's only a penalty if they call a flag. If they blow the
Yeah,
whistle. If they
like
don't blow the whistle, it's not a penalty.
I was really actually depressed the other day because I like to watch some of these sports podcasts and stuff like that. And I watched the one with the Kelsey brothers and stuff, and it wasn't their podcast, but both of them were on a different podcast, and they were talking about how they wear gloves that are the same color of the jerseys of the team they're playing so that they can get away with holding more because it's harder for the rep to see it when you have the same colored glove because they don't see the
Right.
tug the same.
But
And I was
but
just like, dude, it breaks my fucking. You guys are professional level fucking athletes, and you're proud about how you can like the different ways you can get away with cheating. I don't think you know what I mean. Like
But a
that's
smart referee isn't going to look for the touching contact. They're looking for a change in direction. So if
right.
you
Yeah.
tug the jersey, they're not
Yeah.
going to think the jersey magically stuck out in a triangular shape. They're going to know that something pulled it. The referees are going to go like, "Oh, it's magic,"
No,
So
he grew boobs all of a sudden. What?
right, yeah, it's Madonna. Yeah, no, so yeah, so any football player, things like that, there's something wrong with their mentality, you
Well,
know.
I mean, they definitely think like that because
And
that's what they were saying.
any referee that gets fooled by that should not be in the game, because by that logic, if I no, I was gonna say if I just put all the black players in brown uniforms, and then, yeah, but I didn't know where I was going with that, so let
Oh
me
my
stop.
God. I don't know
So
either.
anyway, here is the first clip. Here's part one of William Conway at Full Circle, and this is a Full Circle book
This
crawl
is a bookstore. The,
bookstore.
yeah.
Yes. So here we go. First, William Conway at Full Circle Bookstore in was this? This was in
This is in Sioux Falls, South
Sioux
Dakota. It's
Falls.
on 10th Street.
Okay, guys, is it still there?
It is still there. And actually on Sundays they have one of the best open mics out there, and it's a mixed open mic, comedy, music, poetry, and it's really awesome open mic. I love going that Full Circle mic whenever I'm in town.
Okay, guys, here we go. William Conway at Full Circle in where he just said. You just heard what he said.
Sioux Falls.
Well, Circle, how you doing? Yeah, all right. So I am William Conway. I'm super happy to be here. My mother's not happy that I'm doing comedy. She doesn't like it at all.
She's like, I don't like it that you go out there and tell all your stories. It's not going to make me very proud of you.
I was like, you know what, Ma? I didn't graduate high school. I've been divorced twice now, and I've been to prison. I'm not full of proud moments. Exactly when are you going to stop expecting something? You know? But yeah, so that's right. I've been to prison. That happened. Don't get too nervous. This guy touched his wallet right away. We bumped each other earlier. It was like, ooh, my money. You know, and now I know exactly where your money is. You don't want to do that. I did go to prison for robbery, but it wasn't what you think. It wasn't like your regular kind of robbery. Like I didn't rob like a gas station or a casino or a bank. Oh no, I robbed a flower shop. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Who robs a flower shop? That's exactly what I was thinking. Who robs a flower shop? They're never going to see that coming. They didn't. They didn't. It was the going that they noticed. Get back here. But yeah, that was definitely the day that I learned the not every trail of rose petals leads to a romantic end. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. The cops, they had a super easy time tracking me down. I think it was all those Mylar balloons hanging out the window. You know the ones I'm talking about. They say like, congratulations, get well soon. I was just missing that one that said, sorry about your luck. And the local paper, they didn't do me any favors. They had me in the quick read. It said, floral bandit caught in minutes. So all the guys on the block knew what happened. They knew I was up. Started calling me Billy Bouquet. Not the moniker you want in jail at all. They come up to me in the chow line. They'd be like, give me all your long stem roses and your tulips too. You better throw some baby's breath or it's getting crazy up in here. Calm down, guys.
Now, I have a bone to pick with the newspaper. You're right, because first of all, the writing in the newspaper, when I watched, I went, okay, floral felon is better than floral bandit. Bouquet bandit, okay, you should go to the alliteration, floral felon, bouquet bandit, rosebud robber, something like that. No, but
yeah.
The floral bandit, they're lazy. They're just lazy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I do like, well, and it made it sound like I stole actual flowers and stuff and not the money. You know what I mean? like it making it sound like I was stealing product, you know?
Mylar Marauder.
Right. Yeah, no, it was it was interesting. So I did not listen to that before I sent it to you. And one of the things that stands out to me is I'm sure that this is probably the video that made me really tighten down that rose petal line, because of what you played just right then. That rose petal line of that was definitely the day that I learned that not every trail of rose petals leads to a romantic end. For some reason, that sentence is like extremely hard to say. Like the tongue wants to fumble over it so much. And like I literally had to take like an entire day and like teach myself to say that without like fumbling over my tongue somehow.
Now, this was in 2019, I think, about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I guess I can answer that. Is there any version of that still exists in your set today?
I mean, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I usually the floral banded stuff is usually if I'm in a longer set for sure. Like if I do anything 30 plus, it's going to be in there. I mean, and it's a large part of my story, like because it gets me into other prison stuff and things like that. Because generally, if I say anything about having been to prison, I got to explain why. Because if you don't explain why, it just leads to questions, and you don't want your audience sitting there asking themselves questions. You want them just paying attention to what you're saying.
Hi, I'm G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist and host of Done Way Past Funny. Thank you for watching our continued interview with comedian William Conway. Please join us as we continue our interview, and when you come back to join us, bring a friend.